Alright, so this is my MadVac 101D surplus garbage. It's supposed to have a 28 horse Kubota diesel in it. It's not in the best shape. A little bit rusty up there. A little bit of a broken shock here. Oh well. Missing a wheel and tire. Yikes, nothing but the finest kerosene in that. It's got a sign on it. Pedestrians and bicycles prohibited. It appears that they had an extra sign and the seat broke, so they screwed that in to hold the seat down. We're going to save that regardless. That's pretty cute. That's some hydraulic cylinders to move the arm around. Got a brake, which who's to know if that does anything. Tractor knob, kind of neat. Tells me the power steering's probably not great. Oop, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, there's the key. That's a shocker. I don't know what the hell that is. 2,365 hours, if that's even accurate. Hey, glow plug. Kind of neat. What is this? Engine oil pressure. Still got a light. Doesn't know what the fuel is. Water temp. Amps. Ooh, classy. There are some fuses in it. And it's got a hinge on the front here. The engine's under this because this is the radiators. Looks like a oil cooler and a radiator. I don't really see any serious leaks up top. It's interesting. What do we got in here? Ooh. Battery. What the hell that might have been at some point. Oil change due 22 next PM 2569. So, okay, that may be accurate, or certainly accurate to however they've been maintaining it. Yeah, she's pretty crusty rusty down here too. Battery's not strapped in. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, junk. That's a heavy hammer. More junk. What is this? Ooh, trash picker stick. Ooh. All right then. This kind of looks like it's intended to come out of here somehow. Beats me. And that's yeah, pointy. Hydraulic oil. Oh, it's got a filter in there that I don't see how it comes out. It's only got half packed full of dirt. That's interesting. I bought this for scrap because it's rather heavy, and I think I can get a couple of $100 out of it. And this does not move, so I'm thinking that the seatbelt bolts here and over there hold this down, so allow us to get at the engine. Got the low, this must be the throttle. That's the sucker control, fan control. I'm assuming that's all hydraulic too. It's double hydrostatic drives, one on each side, which is kind of interesting. And of course your cell phone charger. Yeah, classy. This is a fire extinguisher mount that didn't last terribly well. So, this is an option. A little sweeper head. So I think I'm going to go try to find some tools. Looks like 1/2 inch, maybe 9/16. Bust those off and see if there's anything under here. Don't tell me that's got a... Oh, wait a minute. What is that? Aha! Ooh, I see a switch. I see a lever. Hey! All right. Before. Yeah. Prop rod works. That'll do. All right. Guess we didn't have to take that bolt out. Yep. Oh. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and there she is. Little filthy diesel. Little alternator. Looks decent. Doesn't look terrible. So I think I'm going to go get a little jack and put it under that side with no wheel on it. And see what we got. A little tiny exhaust. This thing's cute. And it is. Certainly is a Kubota. So that's something. So I'm going to go jack that up, then we'll check the oil. And one thing I did notice while we were loading it is the fuel filter's hanging a little low. But it doesn't appear that that was done on purpose. The line rotted off. So I may be able to bypass that or just, you know, who knows. But we'll go jack it up and see what we got. Pretty beefy frame under this thing. Well, there's the exhaust. These. Disc brakes. Alright, let's pop up here. Yeah, I guess those bolts are kind of staying put. Let's pull the old dipstick, see what we got. It has plenty of oil. Doesn't look watery. It smells like oil with diesel in it. What are the odds of water in it? Let's find out. She's full. Alright. Alright, well I think I'm going to go try to figure out how to fix that hose underneath. And that's a coolant hose. Might pop the air cleaner just for grins. I'm going to try to fix that coolant hose, the fuel hose, and see if this thing, if I can get some battery juice to it, if it might turn over. Let's find out. Alright, let's see if we can get this stub of a hose off. Come on. There's the clamp. Alright. That's off. I wonder where the hell that mounted. Wonder where that mounted. Oh, I see it. It's got a couple of bolts up there. Looks like it. Yeah, they broke it trying to get this filter off. You can see the mount's broken. It used to mount up there. See if we can get both sides off, and then maybe we'll just plug a piece of hose in between these two and bypass it for now. Yeah. go. Yeah, it's got turpentine in it. Alright, so I'm gonna go try to find something that'll bridge that little gap, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got the battery on nuclear. I don't see any primer or anything like that, so let's just see if it in contact. Hey, it turns over. Alright, well, it doesn't have a lot of voltage, but it seems to have even compression, which is neat. Now we just got to figure out how to get fuel to it. Couldn't find any books on this pile of junk, and I don't see anywhere easy to get into. Oh, that's nice. Well, there's the fuel hose. It just comes in from the top of the tank. So it just feeds from the, this is the fuel hoses down there. It feeds from the top of the tank. Looks like somehow this whole nightmare dumps. I guess maybe if you take the, yeah, it's got a trunnion down there. So I guess if you take the top off, this is still half full of junk, so that'll be an interesting little treasure hunt when we get to it, if we get to it. So, what is this? It's a, looks like a fuel pressure regulator going to the little P-pump. But I do not see any sort of, see a bad vacuum line is what I feel. That's actually the shutoff solenoid. All right. That's probably a governor. It's nice and free. All right, I think I'm gonna cheat. Back in a minute. Let's see what the air cleaner looks like, if that's ever been changed. It's got a filter minder on it, which I think is kind of funny. Okay. Waiting notes galore. Oh, there it goes. CarQuest. Whoa. Yeah. That may not have been changed in a while. The inside looks pretty clean though. I guess that's a bonus. Let's sweep out some of this shit. And see what kind of nightmare we can create here. we need some more juice. I gotta go figure something out. Back in a minute. Contact. Okay. Alright. Well, it wants to try to start, but I don't have enough battery, and I don't have any more junk batteries, so that may have to hold off until tomorrow when we can get some more juice. But it's turning over, so that's interesting, I guess. So, alright, well, we're going to put this back together so in case it rains it doesn't get all water and all this garbage. And we'll try again tomorrow. Okay, back on this thing. I cleaned off one of the stickers. This is a D1105 series engine. And it actually has a little tiny mechanical lift pump, which is this thing here. It goes in there under here and actually runs off a can. Actually, it runs off something, the back of the gear drive for the actual fuel pump. So this is a little tiny mechanical lift pump. So what I think I'm going to do is try to get this fuel line off, see if I break it, and then or actually probably get it off here and put another hose on it and try to suck through it and see if I can just draw fuel up to this area if we have fuel. Or see if I'm sucking air at that disaster of a hose connection I made underneath. Because I think if I can get this thing to fuel, it's going to run. So I may end up having to replace the hose. And it may be this little fuel pump has gone bad, which I just looked up. They're only about 25 bucks, so who knows? Maybe that's what we need, but we'll see. Because I don't see anything in the tank, which is plastic. Here. There's a few wires that go up underneath here. One of them for a level sensor over here. And I have no idea else what, because I don't think you can get the tank out, because everything is welded. There is no way to remove that tank. This is completely solid. Yeah, I have no clue how one would even get to the top of that tank. Not one clue. Because that's solid. Battery, ended up cutting the bolts off the battery to get that off because they wouldn't even move. So I don't have a battery for it yet, but I got 2 battery chargers this time, so we're going to give that a shot. See how big of a disaster we can make there. So I'm going to go get a pair of pliers, see if we can get that hose off, and see if we can get some fuel up to that little pump, or if the diaphragm's broken. Alright, well I don't know if you can see that, but we got fuel. The hose was junk, it broke coming off, so I think I'm going to cut this plastic clear hose. Will work for now. Seems to be holding pretty good, because I'm not holding the end now. This is the other end of the tube. So I think I'm going to cut a piece of this plastic hose, warm it up a bit, and try to get it on in between those 2 ports and see. But yeah, the pump doesn't seem to have any leaks. It drew a little bit of air, a few bubbles, but I think that may have just been the line, but then it stopped and started flowing good fuel. So, and interestingly, it looks like they're using street diesel. They're not using red, so that's kind of nice. So, yeah, I'm going to go get a knife and a heat gun and see if I can get that stupid piece of hose back in place. And then maybe we can give this another shot. Alright, so we got a little clear hose on that thing. A little bit more ass till we pop the fuse again. Send it. Alright. So, it's not turning over great, but that pump's not even spitting. So I am betting that the fuel pump has taken a crap. So, I really want to get this little bugger running. I think I'm going to get on the jungle and see if we can get a fuel pump. And then we will pick this up when that comes in. Alright, while we're waiting for the fuel pump, I got a battery for it. It's not the right battery, but it's cheap. And I was able to, I used the bolt cutters and just cut the terminals off because they were junk. I had to cut those bolts off with a death wheel because they wouldn't even move. And this wire broke, so that's all back together where it's supposed to be. This thing here was held on with 4 self-tapping roofing screws, so it's gone. Open up a little more room. Let's see what we got here. That's a little bit better. Alright, so I've also got some fuel hose and a little electric pump, which was more expensive than I'd hoped, but it'll be nice to have, I guess. And we're going to try to get rid of this line and maybe this line, get rid of these two, and bypass this pump, put the little electric inline pump in, and see if we can get fuel to this thing, see if it is going to run. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so with some serious hackery, we have a mess, because that is pumping fuel like nobody's business. It's everywhere now. But what I did is I cut the line a little long, so maybe we can get it on there. Alright, well, what I did notice is that this thing here can rotate. So I think I'm going to try to rotate that a little bit and get a little easier access to that. So back in a minute. We're going to hook this fuel pump up. Alright, so we got that. Now I got to figure out how to get that fuel pump turned on, and then permanently, and then we're going to see if this thing will start. Doesn't seem to be a bleed, except for this, which I didn't bother with. But yeah, everything else looks to be kind of bleeding back to the pump. That might go back to the tank, but I'm pumping out of the tank from here, so there may be a return, but that should work because I'm still in line with the stock fuel line, just with a different pump. I'm bypassing the mechanical pump. So we will see in a minute once I get a clamp for that pump. Alright, I know the lighting's terrible, but alright, we're gonna clip this together. Hopefully they don't touch. Fuel pump is running. Turn the key to on. I heard the solenoid for the heater click. Let's see what she does. Come on, baby. Oh, that sounds nice. Fan's running. Oh, that sounds fantastic. It's falling off, but she's vibrating pretty good. Make some of this junk down before it all makes it there on its own. like a diesel. I got the front end jacked up for just this reason, because there's no center on the pedal. There it goes. Oh, she's moving some air. And that thing's all rusted out right here. So, let me fix that air cleaner and then we'll be back. I still don't have the air cleaner right. Something's not quite right on there. I think I may have the clamp backwards. That's okay. Fix that later. Oh, she's running like a champ. It's vacuuming like nobody's bejesus. I can't slow that down because this thing's broken. That's something. Yeah, this thermostat's opened up. We got a little heat in it. I'm sure this welded tube is factory. Yeah, that's probably factory. Ain't that something? Oh, she sounds fantastic. I wonder if the alternator's charging. Sure is. Yep, alternator is charging. A little over 14 volts. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Oh, this thing's gonna be fun. I think I'm gonna get this thing working. I need to get a wheel. This will drive. This is great. This is fantastic. Rev her up a little bit. Undercover! Yeah, it's moving some pretty good air, but that whole top is compromised. Oh, there she goes. Oh, now she's moving. Holy crap. Oh, it's getting a little steamy. Burning off some stuff. Nice and cool. Isn't that something? This thing actually works. I can see why they junked it, because it's rough. But, yeah, she just needed a fuel pump. I think that's why they broke that filter off. They thought the filter was clogged, and they just snapped the damn filter off and gave up on it. Yeah, so I got that little guy on order. Not bad. See if she shuts off. Thing of beauty. See if she restarts. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, wow. Look at that. Ah. That works. awesome. That is awesome. That is fantastic. Yeah, this front thing's pretty beat, but all it needs is some skirts and latch that down. Should work. No kidding. Isn't that something? I'll be damned. That's fantastic. Anyway, all right, we're going to clean this thing up a little bit. Oh yeah, shut the fuel pump off, dummy. And fantastic. Yeah, we're going to clean this up a little bit so we can see what we got. Little D1105 running like a top. I'm interested to know what year this is. It's got a serial number with an 08 at the end of it, or a 96. Who knows? But, yeah, pretty slick. We'll be back. Alright, well, we got her all spiffed up. Trying to see if my neighbor's home. He's got a golf cart. I might be able to borrow a wheel and tire off of that, because that seems to be what it is. Little 10x6 4x4 with a 20.5-inch tire on it. Tires are all the same all the way around, but the rims are a different offset in the front, which is interesting. But let's see. Hook the fuel back up if it works. I hear it.